Hello, my name is Lesley and welcome to my Reducing Stress with Mental Fitness webinar. Um, I live in Tunisia, in the south of Tunisia, and I'm going to be sharing a PowerPoint with you, and hopefully the recording will work properly this time. Um, yes, I'm a coach. So what is coaching, first of all? Well, coaching is a series of intentional conversations that empower a person or a group to fully live out their calling. And I do mental fitness coaching, which helps people to reduce stress and to improve their relationships and also to improve their productivity as well, and their well-being and their contentment. What I really love to do is to create supportive communities where transformation can take place. So communities that where the members encourage each other, they provide accountability for each other, and it's in these kind of communities that real transformation can take place. And so when I do training, I like to create these communities so that it's not just training, but it's a really transformational experience. I'm going to share my PowerPoint with you now. So, reducing stress with mental fitness. Well, here's a picture of me with my husband Philippe. He's French, and our German Shepherd dog Prince, and we live in an oasis in the south of Tunisia. We've been here 10 years, and before that, we used to live in Morocco, and we spent 14 years living in Morocco in the Middle Atlas Mountains of Morocco. So today we're going to look at reducing stress with mental fitness. So first of all, why? Why do I do mental fitness coaching? And then we'll look at what happens in your brain when you're stressed. And then what is mental fitness? And then we're going to do some stress busting. And then I'm going to be talking to you about my mental fitness programs. So first of all, why mental fitness coaching? Well, when Philippe and I were living in Morocco, it was just a year or so after we'd arrived there. And a friend of his called us, and he was actually going through a really, really difficult circumstance. It was very tragic, in fact. And so he called us to be with him and just to sit with him and his family and walk through this really terrible experience with them. And the way I reacted to that, well, I have to say, first of all, my kind of autopilot mood is stressed. But the way I reacted to that really stressful situation was to be just overstressed. And I was so stressed that it actually destroyed my adrenal glands and did permanent damage to them. And they don't work anymore. So I have to take medication. So it just this stress bust my adrenal glands. And then I mentioned after we left Morocco, we came to Tunisia. And then we'd been a few years here in Tunisia and we went through another difficult situation, very difficult, lots of stress. But the difference was that in this situation, I was actually going through a mental fitness program. I was a participant in it. And the way I went through the stress was completely different. It was really like night and day. Because yes, it was a very stressful situation, but I had the tools to manage the stress. And I knew how to reduce my stress I built that mental muscle so I could command my brain, no, we're not going to go down that neural pathway. I choose to go down the other neural pathway. And I was so excited about learning these tools. I thought I've got to get trained in how to use this material. It's gold. I really want to share this with my coaching clients. So I got trained, and I'm a positive intelligence mental fitness pioneer coach. And yes, I'm taking people through my programs and really excited about the results they get with them. So let's have a look at what happens when you're stressed, what happens inside your brain. So here's an image of your brain. There's the upstairs brain, That's the prefrontal cortex. That's the blue part. The thriving brain. That's just under your forehead. And then was what we call the downstairs brain, the amygdala, the brain stem, the limbic system. This is the survival brain. So I'm sorry, I apologize if you're scared of spiders. Maybe just close your eyes during this slide. But if you're scared of spiders and you see a spider, then your downstairs brain, your survival brain is activated. There's lots of activity happening in that part of the brain. And here's an image. We call this the hand-brain diagram. And this is to show kind of what happens when you're stressed. So this image is when you're calm. So your downstairs brain, your thumb, is very well hidden by your upstairs brain. It's completely under control. The prefrontal cortex, your thriving brain is in control. And yes, you can't see the thumb, you can't see the downstairs brain. And then this is what happens when you flip the lid. The prefrontal cortex has lost control completely. The thumb is visible, the downstairs brain is in control, and you're seeing all those nasty emotions, anger, stress, guilt, shame, anxiety. And then, yes, we call that flipping the lid. So now, what is mental fitness? Right. So the definition of mental fitness is your capacity to respond to life's challenges with a positive mindset rather than a negative mindset. So you can write these highlighted words onto your handout. That's the definition of mental fitness. And what it results in is peak performance, peace of mind and wellness, and healthy relationships. And I'm going to show you a video now, and that really epitomizes for me what mental fitness is like in action. So this video is Heather Dorniden. She's number 170. She's on the left there, and this is in the 600-meter heats. It's from the year 2008. So keep an eye on Heather and see how she practices mental fitness.
Weekend, and she's just coming by Fondor now in the home stretch, heading into the bell lap. Oh, went down.
Dorniden falling down, gets up quickly, but that's going to cost her. Lucky she wasn't injured.
Her teammate just went to the front, though, so they may be able to recover from that. And Dorniden is flying down the backstretch.
She is catching up.
She is going to catch Fondor, and she may catch the leaders.
Wow.
But she's got fun.
This is a gutsy effort by Dorniden. Can she pull it off? She's moved into third. Dorniden coming down the stretch from the outside. Dorniden coming on strong. Dorniden all the way. Dorniden. Yes, she did it.
Wow.
I love that video. I love watching it. You know, you have something that you fall over, fall flat on your face. So what do? You get back up again and you run the race and you win the race. I love that. So Shirzad Chamine has done really breakthrough original research on positive intelligence or mental fitness. And it's a synthesis of recent discoveries in positive psychology, in performance science, in neuroscience, and in cognitive behavioral psychology. And it's called positive intelligence or mental fitness. And in the mental fitness operating system, we have your negative emotions, which are in the survival brain, and the positive emotions that are in the thriving brain. So the negative emotions are fear, stress, anger, guilt, shame, and insecurity. And then the positive emotions in the upstairs brain, empathy, curiosity, creativity, passion, and purpose. And in mental fitness, we call the surviving brain, the downstairs brain, we call that the saboteur brain. And we call the prefrontal cortex, the upstairs brain, we call that the sage brain. It's a saboteur brain and sage brain. So I want you to think of one situation now that's giving you stress. And so just write down on your handouts a couple of words just so that you can recognize, ah, yes, that's the situation. Okay, and how stressed do you feel now? Are you like a calm Kareem or a calm Carmen? Or are you like fretting Frida, who's got a 10 for her stress level? So write down a number between 1 and 10. Don't think about it too hard. Just think of a number of how stressed you feel and put it on your handout. The way we cope with stress is by building mental muscle, because when we're stressed, there's increased activity in this saboteur region of our brain. And the way we bust that stress is by building these 3 mental muscles: your sage muscle in your prefrontal cortex, your saboteur interceptor, and the self-command muscle. So let's have a closer look at the saboteur interceptor. And when there's this activity happening in the saboteur part of our brain, we sabotage ourselves and we sabotage others as well. So that can be with our inner critic, or it can be criticizing other people, or it can be procrastinating, or being a stickler, wanting perfection. And the Bible tells us in 2 Corinthians 10:5, we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. And to do this, to take captive every thought, we need to build up mental muscle. And then looking at the self-command muscle, I love this quote by Viktor Frankl. He said I think it's in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, between stimulus and response, there's a space. And thank God for that space. In that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. We can choose the response that we really want. We can choose to have that response and not the autopilot response. So we're going to do some stress busters now. So a PQ rep is a 10-second hyper focus on one of your senses. And that's 1 rep. So we're going to do a few of those now. We're going to do it for more than 10 seconds. We'll probably do it for a couple of minutes. So write down the highlighted words on your handout. And let's do some of these PQ reps to reduce our stress. So if you want to, close your eyes. You don't need to, but you can if you want to. And feel your body in your seat. And straighten your spine and relax your muscles in your body. And breathe deeply. And just concentrate on your breathing. Breathing slowly and deeply. And feel how your body moves as you breathe. And now feel the weight of your seat in the chair. And feel the weight of your feet on the floor. And let your breathing return to its normal speed. And try to identify the furthest away sound you can hear. And what's the nearest sound you can hear? Try to hear your own breathing. And now rub the two fingertips very lightly together. I use my index fingers. Feel all the sensations in your fingertips. Try to feel the ridges in your fingertips. Now, rub the fingertips and palm of one hand gently against the fingertips and palm of the other hand and feel all those sensations. Feel the temperature of your hand. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And now, how stressed do you feel between 1 and 10? So 1 if you're like calm, Kareem, and 10 if you're very stressed. And write that down on your handout. It works, doesn't it? Here's our next Bible verse. It's Philippians 4, sorry, verses 6 to 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Love that verse. So this is stress buster number 2. It's gratitude. Just going back to the verse again. In every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving. So, thanksgiving, gratitude. Write down 3 things you're grateful for, and then thank God for these things. So, if you want, just pause the recording and then do this exercise. And now, stress buster number 3. We call this the sage perspective. Every outcome or circumstance can be turned into a gift and opportunity. Sometimes we're going to need to develop a certain skill to manage a bad circumstance, to manage it well. And once we've developed that skill, that knowledge, that ability, this can be a gift in that area of our lives, but also in other areas of our lives. And one story that I love is the story of Christopher Reeve. He was the actor who played Superman. And one day he had a horse riding accident and it left him paralyzed. And he's a really amazing person. And he saw the gift and the opportunity in his bad circumstance. And he worked very hard to raise money for for research into caring for people who are paralyzed and finding solutions for them. And he made many people aware of the needs of people with disabilities. And he had such a rewarding life after his accident that he could honestly say that he didn't regret his accident. So even in that very tragic situation, there was a gift and there was an opportunity. And this philosophy really goes hand in hand with the Bible. And here's a Bible verse which I think demonstrates this perfectly. It's Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, for those who've been called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. And this is true for the big situations, the big tragedies, and it's true of the small things. There can be a gift, an opportunity in these small things that go wrong, that we don't like, but even in the really big things. And I mentioned the situation that we went through in Morocco, walking with our friends. And there were beautiful friendships that resulted of us walking together in that situation, not just with Philippe's friend, but with his whole family and with his whole extended family. Very, very close, dear friendships who we still see today. Well, we went to Morocco earlier this year and spent time with our beautiful friends there. So that's a big thing. Even in the big things that go wrong, there's beauty in those broken things. And small things as well. People think it's really hot in Tunisia, and it is in the summer, but in the winter, as you can see, we need to cover up because it's quite cool. So inside our home at the moment, it's 19 degrees, which is okay. But it will get colder. It's only December, so it will get colder. So it does get cold. And after having a shower, I used to feel so cold once I turned the hot water off. And I used to think, oh, this feels so horrible. It's so cold. It's so unpleasant. I hate it. And I was just thoroughly miserable for those few seconds once I'd turned the hot water off. So I thought, I'm going to try this sage perspective on this situation, see if it works. So I, the next time I had a shower, I turned off the hot water. I thought, okay, where's the gift? Where's the gift in this cold feeling? And I thought, well, actually, it's invigorating me. It's giving me energy. Perhaps that's the gift. But what I'd done, I'd stopped these saboteur thoughts. Oh, it's horrible. It's cold. I can't bear it. And I was using my sage brain. Okay, I wonder where the gift is. I'm curious. Where could the gift be? And the result was I actually felt a lot less cold and a lot less miserable. So that's just a small example for you. And in case you're asking yourself a question, which of these perspectives is true? Is it the saboteur perspective? This is bad. This is bad. It's cold. I'm miserable. I hate it. Or is the sage perspective true? There's a gift here. Which is true? Which do you think? The answer is whichever you believe becomes true. This is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're going to believe the saboteur perspective, this is bad, it'll be like when I was believing it. Oh, this is so cold. Oh, I hate it. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so miserable. And I was really, really miserable. And I felt really, really cold. But if you use your self-command muscle and you stop that neural pathway, I'm not going to think that. I'm going to think, there's a gift here. Where's the gift? Where can the gift be? Ah, it's invigorating. Perhaps that's the gift for me. And then because you're using your sage brain, the activity reduces in the saboteur brain and you actually feel happy. It feels quite nice to be invigorated. It really did feel less cold and it was certainly a lot less unpleasant. So here's a picture of a neural pathway. The event happens, we start at the top of this slide. It's a fork in the road. Where are you going to go? Are you going to go down the autopilot saboteur road? This is bad, this is bad, the saboteur perspective. Or are you going to stop? And you can do PQ reps to really energize this sage region of your brain. And you can choose no. There's a gift in here. I'm going to go down the road of this thought. There's a gift in this situation, and I'm going to try and find the gift. The choice is yours. So sometimes we need to change the way we see things, change our spectacles, and see things in a different way. See, I think there might be a gift in here somewhere for me instead of, oh, this situation is so bad. So, reducing stress with mental fitness. We've looked at why I do my mental fitness coaching, because I've got so much out of it and I want to share that. We've looked at what happens when you're stressed, with when you're stressed and you flip your lid. We've looked at what mental fitness is, and we've busted our stress. Looked at 3 stress busters. And now, in a little while, I'm going to mention my 8-week mental fitness program. But what I'd like to do first is an exercise I do sometimes after my coaching sessions. So we ask the question, what? What do you want to remember from this seminar or this webinar? What do you want to remember? Just note it down on your handout, and you can pause the video if you need more time. And so what? What makes this significant for you? And again, just pause the video if you need more time. And now what? What could you do to retain this learning? So what, and now what? And you might have another question. Is it really possible to just shift from Saboteur to Sage response, to shift from our fretting Frida to our calm Kareem, even in the really tough challenges that life gives us? Is it really possible? And the answer is yes, but. So yes, but. So how quickly you shift, the speed of which you shift from the Saboteur response to the Sage response, it depends on how strong your mental muscles are and the depth with which you switch. So if you're experiencing real extreme stress or anger or shame or any other negative emotion, and you're just starting to develop your mental fitness, you can quieten these saboteur thoughts and feelings. You can shift a little. But once you've developed your mental muscle more, once you get up to level 5, the MRI scans show an actual increase in size in your prefrontal cortex and a reduction in size in your saboteur region of your brain. And that's because you've developed your mental muscle. So once you've got good mental muscle, then you can use your self-command muscle and switch to Sage, even in really difficult situations. But as I said, yes, the speed and depth of the shift depends on how strong your mental muscle is, how fit you are mentally. All lasting transformation, we don't get it through insight. That's why just going to a training session, it doesn't change you. What changes you is the practice. So lasting transformation is 20% insight and 80% mental muscle. So that's why in the mental fitness programs, we have intense initial practice. So you have an application on your phone, and you'll spend 15 minutes a day in that application for between 6 and 8 weeks. You can't become stronger, you can't become physically fit by lifting 1 kilogram 3 times a day for 100 days. No, you need intense initial practice, so 15 minutes a day for 6 to 8 weeks. This application on your phone, it's Shirzad Chamine's 7-week program based on his positive intelligence mental fitness research. And what you get in the program, you get a weekly video. There are 7 videos to watch, and you can watch them between Friday and Monday. So you watch them at the weekend. And then every day you get 15 minutes of practice in the app. You can listen to the audio book of his positive intelligence book, Shirzad Chamine's book. It's a New York Times bestseller. And if you go for the silver program, you get an hour a week of group coaching. And you also get access to the global mental fitness positive intelligence community of all the thousands of people who are going through the app at the same time as you. Positive intelligence has boosted mental fitness, and it has generated some really spectacular results for hundreds of organizations. Here are some of the organizations that have used it. And I'm going to tell you now about my offers. So I've got my bronze offer. So for my bronze offer, you can use the 7-week Positive Intelligence app, and I'll give you a link to find out more about that. I'm actually not allowed to advertise this program for less than $995. That's £780. I can't advertise it for less than that, but I am giving you a code. And there's a code for my Black Friday sale. That's to get 70% off. That code is BF sale. But there's a code that you can use from now through to Friday. You can use it up until Friday, the 13th of December. And that code is FRIEND, and that will give you 75% off. So instead of paying £780, you'll pay £195. So that's less than £200. As I mentioned, I'm in Tunisia. We work in dinars. So that will be 777 dinars once you've taken off the 75%. So in this app, you get these 7 weekly teaching videos. They're about an hour, a bit less. You get new activities every day, your daily focus, 2 recharges, your daily reflection for you to note. And you also get a mental gym. So you can go to that mental gym to boost your mental fitness. You can do a 2-minute session, a 5-minute session, a 12-minute session, and there's 6 different kinds of gym sessions you can do. Or you can just start the 2-minute session and just do it for 30 seconds if you want, before an important phone call or an important meeting. As I mentioned, you get the audio book, Positive Intelligence by Shirzad, Chamine, and you can, once the 7-week program is over, you keep all the work you've done for an additional 10 months. You won't get any new material, but everything you've done, the teaching videos, the reflections, the activities you've done every day, you'll keep that for an additional 10 months. So in total, you have 1 year access to the program, but after the initial 7 weeks, it's limited access for those additional 10 months. I'll also give you access to Tim Keller's sermons, The War Between Yourselves. He's done 2 sermons that really, I think, go hand in hand with mental fitness and this war that we have between our saboteur brain and our sage brain. So yes, I've extended the friend coupon. It's not just the 9th and 10th of December because this recording didn't work properly the first time. So I'm extending that friend coupon until the 13th. You can use it up to the 13th of December, Friday the 13th. And then my silver offer. So for the silver offer, you get everything that's in the bronze offer, plus you get the weekly group coaching with me. So we have 8 meetings of about an hour. And then you get also technical support in between the group coaching sessions if you're having difficulties with the app. So that's worth £1,180. And again, you can get 75% off with the friend code. Just put in friend where it says coupon, and that will cost you £295. So it's just £100 more. And I would really encourage you to go for the silver offer, because people that go through these group coaching sessions, we call them PQ pods, mental fitness pods. People that go to these pod meetings actually improve their results by 500%. And that's because of the encouragement and the accountability. So I would really recommend that to you. And then there's the gold offer. If you're really serious about getting mentally fit, and I don't know if you noticed, but this gold brain has got a really, really heavy dumbbell that he's lifting or she's lifting. So the gold offer, you get everything that's in the silver offer, plus you'll get full access to the app for 10 additional months. So that means you get a whole year of access to the app. And that means that even after the initial 7 weeks, you'll get continued daily activities. You'll get a continued daily focus, 2 challenges, and daily reflection. But you can go through at your own pace if you want. And also, you'll be promoted to the Grow program. And the Grow program unlocks 23 modules that are in the app, only available to Grow participants. And these modules will help you to apply mental fitness in 23 different areas of your life, such as creativity, leadership, parenting, relationships, conflict management, stress management, sleep, wellness, all kinds of things. You can use mental fitness to really improve your life. In so far, there's 23 of these modules, and there might be some more coming out soon. So it costs £360 to go into the Grow program once you've done the initial 8-week app. So the total of that is £1,540. But again, use the friend code FRIEND and you'll get 75% off. That is, you'll pay just £385. That's 1,538 dinars. And this is just £90 more than the silver program. And you get a whole year's worth of material. So yes, go for gold. So what are your next steps? We're closing this webinar now. So here's what I'd like you to do. Practice these 3 stress busters and see how you reduce your stress. So practice these PQ reps, touching your index fingers together, concentrating on your breathing, concentrating on how your body is feeling and relaxing your muscles. Oh, it says peace bucket there. I replaced that by gratitude. Practice gratitude and practice the sage perspective, seeking the gift. And I'd love you to join me in one of my PQ programs, my mental fitness programs, either bronze, silver, or gold. And here's the link for more information. I'm going to put all these links. All these links are on your handout, but I'll put them below this video on YouTube as well. There's also on my YouTube channel, there's a video on how you can place an order. If you're getting confused with the dinars and the pounds, and unfortunately, because we're in Tunisia, when you click to pay, you'll go onto the payment site and you get some instructions in French. But I walk you through every single step in this video, how to place an order. And this is my email address. As I said, all of these links will be in the information underneath this video. And here's a few more resources for you if you want to buy the Positive Intelligence book. Although if you come into my program, you get the audio book in the app. If you want to find out more about this app, you can go to Shirzad Chamine's website. But if you buy it from him, then you'll pay the $995. You can take his saboteur assessment to find out, which of your saboteurs are the biggest ones. You can also take the PQ assessment. This will give you your positivity score. How positive are you? And I love people to take this assessment before they start the program and take it afterwards. Your saboteur assessment, that won't change because it's just identifying which are the main saboteurs in the order. The actual numbers aren't important. But with the PQ assessment, your PQ score is important, and we want to see that number increasing. So, and before we close, just in case you love writing, or just in case you want to start writing, or you want a Christmas present for a writer or a Christmas present for yourself, I'm hosting a writing retreat with Marcy. Marcy's my writing coach, and she's an author. She writes books for children. She writes books for adults. And we're doing a writing retreat on January the 24th. Be great for you to join us. And again, there's a sale on until Friday the 13th of December. The normal price is $50 or £40, but until Friday the 13th of December, you can get our writing retreat for $35. That is 30% off, or $35 or £27. So again, this link is on your handouts or at the bottom of this video. So I do hope you'll join us either for the writing retreat or join me in one of my mental fitness programs. Thank you for watching, and do be in touch if you want any more information.